Welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. Today's topic is online dating is risky business. Online dating is very risky business. All right, before we get started, I want to say welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to all of the new viewers, all of the new subscribers, and welcome to you who have been with me from the beginning. I really appreciate you. Now, those of you who are new to the channel, I will answer your relationship questions. So at the end of the video, I'll show you a link where you can send in your questions, and I will either answer them privately through the email or share them online with the collective, and it can be your decision. Now, those of you who are interested in these caps, they are available in my online store, and you find a link in the description. Now it's time for today's affirmation, and we do these affirmations to help with your spiritual growth. And here it is. I am relaxing my body and listening for the wisdom from within. I am relaxing my body and listening for the wisdom from within. People, now this is what you do in meditation. You relax your body, you free your mind, and listen for wisdom. I am relaxing my body and listening for the wisdom from within. Let this affirmation sink deep into your spirit and be a blessing to you today. Now it's time for movement, and we do the movements to get our blood circulating. All right, now today's movement, we're going to do a neck movement today. And what we're going to do is just this. And that's one. And we're going to do it for 5 times. And then we're going to go the other way. You ready? Sit up straight. Breathe deep. And let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. How does that feel? All right, let's go the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I felt that in my neck. You know, it loosens up your muscles, and movement is very good for your physical, your emotional, and your spiritual health. Now let's dive into the message today. Online dating is very risky. I did pull a video. Let's watch the video, and I have a letter. Gonna read the letter and talk about this issue. All right, here we go.
Have you ever met somebody through online dating who just seems too good to be true? Yeah, I have too. And if they seem too good to be true, they probably are. Thankfully, Spyfly exists, and all you need to know is their first and last name, and you can discover so much information about them, like whether or not they're even real, and if they are who they claim they are. I don't know about you, but I know that I deserve for somebody to be fully transparent with me. And if they're not, well, I will find that out, and that's a promise.
Girl, you are not gonna believe this.
This man is the most famous online swindler in the world. They lie to European women. The total amount of swindled was over $10 million. He was born in 90 years, born into a civilian family in Israel. It's said that since teenagers, he'll learn to cheat people with bad checks. In his 20s, he changed his name, Simon Leviev, the same name as Levelviv. king of the diamonds of Israel, and a photoshopped picture of himself and the king of diamonds. He's been talking about it ever since. He's the son of the Diamond King, 2017 to 2019. It was his most arrogant period. His deception is mainly through dating apps. Dating a woman who's been paired online, from social profiles to food, clothing, shelter and transportation, for their own all-round creation of rich people set. Dealing with the victims, his usual way is, treat your guests with a small profit, please, afterward, through low-key dazzle rich, affectionate confession, routine and other means to tease sister. Let the women fall in love with him, waiting for the fish to bite, in the name of a lover or a friend, pretending to be in an emergency, borrowing money from them. He's spending their money on booze, drink the most expensive wine, go to the most expensive occasion, the biggest party ever. All these sky-high bills, he bought them all with the victim's credit card. At its peak, he can spend $20,000 in 2 days. Such profligacy as this, to convince one man after another of his wealth. He was actually using the money of one of his victims to raise the trust of a victim, one after the other.
Jeremy? Joke! Oh my god, you should see
Oh
your
my God,
face.
okay.
No, obviously I'm not her.
Oh, man. Because honestly, I was shitting myself there. I mean, no offense.
I'm none taken. It's really risky meeting people online.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, is Madison on her way?
No, Madison's not coming.
All right, let's read this letter. This young lady entitles her letter, Gentle Giant is Defiant. I am a 47-year-old woman. I recently met a 6'8", 57-year-old man online. I decided to dip my toe in the dating pool again after being out of the loop and celibate for 8 months. I don't know why you tried online dating, but let's see what happened. He messaged me first, and after chatting on the site for a bit, we exchanged numbers. I don't initiate contact with men, so I immediately set a boundary by requesting that he call me first directly. All right, now wait a minute here. You say here that you don't initiate contact. When you put a profile online, that is initiating contact. If you didn't put your profile online, they wouldn't contact you. Okay? So ladies, let's not fool ourselves about what we're doing. Okay? You created a profile on this dating site because you wanted to meet men. So you are out looking for men. All right, and ladies, we really shouldn't be looking for men. So let's see what she says in the letter. All right. We had a brief conversation, and he mostly talked about him being an A-list bodyguard to 90% celebrities out now. He briefly mentioned his engineering position that he worked 9 to 5 during the week. The more we talked, I picked up some loneliness, sadness, and a sense of hopelessness in his voice. He shared with me that his mother is in a nursing home and his younger brother has cancer. During our first conversation, he sends me a screenshot of expensive boots, shoes, and bags with the price listed, as if he was expecting me to choose from what was listed. No, he's trying to impress you. He's just trying to impress you because he knows that a lot of women out here are impressed by getting a bag or some boots or, some nonsense like that. So that's why he showed you this list of expensive goods trying to hook you in. Okay? The first prices range from $500 to $2,000. No one has ever done this to me before, so I told him how awkward it made me feel and that I would not have anywhere to wear those kinds of items in my real life. I didn't know how to react. He was only trying to impress you that he could acquire these things for you. You understand? He's just throwing bait at you. I was getting an almost strong sense of disseparation from him. He was already making plans to meet in person without a FaceTime call, which is a prerequisite for me prior to meeting anyone from a dating site. So you want to see him on FaceTime to make sure that you are talking to who you think you're talking to. He seemed scared and was attempting to protect himself by baiting me with the photos of the expensive items. This was a little insulting. He invited me to meet him for coffee or tea for the next day. I agreed reluctantly, but canceled the day of. I told him I needed him to plan a date if he wanted to see me, period. He agreed. All right, now, let's talk about what you're doing here. You are trying to teach this man how to date you? Ladies, it's better if you check the man out who he is. Don't teach men how to date you, because he's only going to comply to whatever you are asking, and that's not really who he is, and probably not his real intention. He'll hide his intention to appease you, just to get you hooked in, and then you'll get to see who he really is, ladies. Allow the man to be who he is in the beginning. Don't tell a man how to treat you, how to date you. If he doesn't know how to date you, he's not the man for you. Okay, ladies? You can't change a man. You see? No. He finally offered to do dinner and pay for an Uber on the third day of our communicating. The plan was for him to send the money for the Uber the day of. Money seemed to be his go-to during our conversations. He would often talk about taking women out when he needed company a little. He even began planning my birthday the day before our dinner date. Again, he talked or alluded to what he could do financially several times when we would speak. This was always initiated by him, but I barely acknowledged it. He's trying to set you up. I doubted if this man can even afford dinner. He's trying to set you up. All right? No. Each day we spoke, he would write and send me long, grammatically incorrect poems describing his feelings for me. You know, that's a sign right there. That's another sign right there. Grammatically incorrect sentences. No, he's a scammer. He's a scammer. You see? No, you don't want this. Some of the details were sexual descriptions about his wand and mentioning my body. He's looking for sex. I told him that I didn't think it was appropriate for him to be talking about sex at all so early. We hadn't even met, because he wants to set you up and get you primed so that when you meet, you'll feel comfortable enough that maybe it won't take so long to get to the sex. or whatever else he is after from you. All right? He's just priming you up. The night before we were due to meet, we finally did FaceTime, which made me feel a little more comfortable about the meeting. Why? Why? Why did it make you feel comfortable just to see his face? That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything about what his intentions are. The way that he has approached you is all wrong. He tried to impress you, showing you expensive items. Listen, I'll give you a hint. Men who have money don't do things like that. Why would they? They don't do things like that. It's men who don't have money who want to impress you. He wanted to impress you about that he was some kind of bodyguard for celebrities. Listen, people, this man is just, I believe he's just scamming you. And if he's somewhere close and he wants to meet you, then he wants to use you. He wants to take advantage of you. You know he wants sex because he keeps talking about it. He keeps bringing it in. You know he wants sex, but he probably wants to use you once he meets you for other things too. I thought it was okay looking for a 57-year-old. I was willing to see if we would have chemistry in person. So the dinner plans remained. Chemistry? Chemistry? You are giving this man a chance to take advantage of you. Because you are a little bit desperate for a man. A little bit desperate to have a man. And that's why men can come in and do these things to you and tell you all kind of things and bring you into their web because they know that you want men. All right? The morning of the date, my intuition said, you don't even know his name. So I looked at my phone and asked for his full name. And asked for his full name. You see, this man is rushing you. It's a hurry. Now, one red flag about men who try to rush you, narcissists. Narcissists try to rush you into relationships and rush you to sex because they need supply. All right? So you have to be very careful. Very careful of anybody who's trying to rush a situation. I say a situationship. Okay. He sent me the information along with another poem that with more sexual descriptions sprinkled in it. I went in on him at this point. I told him again that I didn't like it, basically. And he responded by saying he would stop writing me poetry altogether. Oh, I see. Now he's getting hanky because you tell him you don't appreciate these sexual connotations. I said, can't you be creative without being sexually aggressive? You see, you're looking at this like this is just what men do. You see, with him being sexual to you, you're thinking that this is just how men do, and all you need to do is just calm him down a bit so that he can get a chance to know you or whatever. Ladies, no. No. He is looking for sex. He's letting you know it right off the top. That's what he's looking for. To have sex with you. All right? What else you say? Then I got an idea. I heard someone say, if you want to see if a man values you, ask him for some money. So I asked him for $300 to cover my Uber costs, including the tip, to and from the restaurant, and a little extra for me to get a mani-pedi for the date. What? What? Well, he didn't like this at all. He told me I had him all the way effed up because we hadn't met, had sex, or established any real connection for me to feel comfortable enough asking him for financial help. You know, I don't know where you got that information from, to ask a man for money to see if he values you. But no, that's not the way. That's not the way to find out whether he values you. That's the way to turn him off, that's for sure. Because when you do that, it looks like you kind of a gold digger. That's what a normal man would think. That you're a gold digger for you to come off the top and ask him for $300 for an Uber and for a mani-pedi. He don't know you. Like he said, he don't know you. He said he's never been and is not a sugar daddy. You see, that's how you came off, like you was looking for a sugar daddy. He stated that if any of those things previously mentioned were in place, he would have obliged gladly. But since it's not, do not contact him again. So he's saying don't contact him again. He's pissed. All right. He also said that if I was trying to turn him off, I succeeded, and that he would block me. I said no problem, and deleted and blocked him as well. Okay. Now, from that situation, there were a couple of things. I don't agree with online dating, period. I think online dating is full of predators, and you're not going to attract the right kind of person online. There are a lot of predators online. And it seems that this guy is another predator. But you kept the conversation up with him. Even after, number one, he tried to impress you with these expensive things. Then number two, you're going to tell him how to date you. And you are trying to make this work. And I don't understand why. Unless it's out of desperation. Why would you want this to work? This man has not said or done anything prior to meeting you to make you think that he would be a proper prospect. Number one, he's trying to rush you to sex. He's trying to prime you already in the beginning for sex. And you know that. But no, what you tried to do was try to cool him off so you can get a chance to know him first. No. If that is his intention for sex, let him go. You should have let him go in the beginning. And this idea of asking men for money to show if he values you or not, listen, it is a man's responsibility to provide for you. Okay? If you are in a relationship with a man, it's his responsibility to provide for you. If you are dating a man, it's his responsibility to provide for you. You have not even met this man yet. And already you're asking him for money? You see, that's a gold digger move right there. Don't do that. Don't do that ever again. Because if you do, you're attracting any man who complies to that is the wrong man. And he gonna dog you out. All right? And any decent man is gonna be turned off by it. I advise you not to ever do that again. Now, what you do is, when you're dating a man and you know it's his job to provide for you, he takes you out on a date. If the man wants you to meet him on the date and it's the first date, I feel it's your obligation to get to the date, not his obligation. You haven't even met him yet. For the first date, I believe you should find your own way to the date, because if it doesn't work out, then you're not obligated for him to drive you home from the date. You find your own way to the date and your own way back from the date, ladies. Remember, we are strong, confident women. All right? So it was a wrong move for you to ask this man to pay for you to come to the date. Now, once you got to the date, it was his responsibility to pay for the meal or whatever activities you did on the date or whatever. Now, if he offered to pay the Uber, all well and good, but not for you to request it. No, it gives the wrong message, you see? And even after the date is over, if he offers to pay for the Uber, wonderful. But it's not his, it's not his obligation to pay for you to get back home. So you want to watch these things, because if the man does not make you feel good on the first date, and he isn't attentive to your needs or whatever, then you may decide you don't want to see him again. And he may decide he doesn't want to see you again. All right? So good. Let it go. But ladies, don't try to make these situations work. You see? That's an act of desperation, and you look desperate when you do that. Okay? So let's see. Let's finish this up. So you said no problem and deleted and blocked him as well. I was relieved, actually. There was a definite disconnect between us, and I was sensing a lot of emotional unavailability from him. So then why did you try to keep it up then? Why did you try to keep it up? Why didn't you cut him off as soon as you realized that there was a disconnect? There were several red flags. Why? Why didn't you leave him after the first red flag? Ladies, don't continue these situations and throwing red flags, because it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything unless you take action. If you see a red flag, let it be done. And you're right, it was a lot of red flags even in this letter. What was the rush to meet on the first date of speaking and the reluctance to FaceTime? Don't worry yourself about the whys. Okay? These predators have their reasons why they're doing things the way they're doing it. It's working on some ladies. It just, on you. When you ask him for money, then he knew he couldn't do much with you, because he's priming you probably to ask you for money. You see? Okay. See, he was showing you in the beginning, when he showed you those expensive items, he wants you to believe that, yeah, see, I can afford this stuff. You see, I work for celebrities. I got money. Don't believe that. Don't believe it. He was just setting you up. Okay? Because if he ever came and asked you for money, you see, you would think, well, he's got money, he's going to pay me back. It's a scam. You gotta know what's going on. All right? Any man that tries to impress you this early in the game with what he's got and all that, it's a lie. Men who have all of these things, they're not out here presenting it to you. You may be the last one to know that he's got anything. Men who truly have something, they're not out here showcasing it. It's the ones who don't have anything that are showcasing it to capture you. All right? Think about it. If this man was a bodyguard for celebrities, why the heck would he be online trying to date you? Think about it. Think about it. Ladies, don't be fooled by these scammers. It's ridiculous. Stay offline dating. All right. Okay, you say, I didn't appreciate him not respecting my boundaries with regards to his weird poetry either. He was trying to spoon you in the way that he was taught to. He all but assured I was accusing him of sexual harassment because I asked him to be more respectful. My question is, should I have cut communications earlier with this man? Absolutely. Absolutely. He was foreign if he could not, something was a little off. If his little poems were grammatically incorrect. Something was a little off with him. So yes, you did the right thing. You should have never started with this man. And actually, my advice, you should take your profile down. Your dating profile, take it off. You're only going to meet predators online. That's all you're going to meet. Because online dating is overloaded with predators trying to take advantage of women who are looking for love. Don't be a victim. And when you create your online dating profiles, you're setting yourself up to be a victim. Okay? And you got free will. It's your free will that you want to be a victim. So you put it out there. And you say that the man contacted you. Well, that's why you put your profile out there. So men would contact you. You see? Women, don't fool yourself. Don't fool yourself. When you create these profiles, you are looking for men. And women, I never advise you, don't look for men. If you desire a man in your life, you need to work on yourself, number one. Because if you're online dating, you're probably in a lower vibration. And you need to raise your vibrations. You need to start your spiritual awakening so that you could start loving yourself and knowing who you really are and the power that you have inside. You don't need this at all. I hope that you understand this. Online dating is way too risky. And it's a no-no in my book. So, love yourself. Concentrate on yourself. Concentrate on the things that make you happy. And forget about looking for men. When you are happy, when you are truly happy within yourself, you'll put out that happy energy and that positive energy. And men will flock to you. They will be drawn to you because of that energy. Men who are on your frequency, on a positive frequency. But if you're feeling desperate and you online searching, that's a low frequency. And you're only going to attract men on a low frequency. And they are no good for you. They have no good intentions for you. They're just out looking for women that they can use and abuse. Ladies, I hope you understand this message, and I really hope that it helps. Now, those of you who have questions that you would like for me to answer, here's the link. Send your questions to Miss Faye's World, YT, at hotmail.com. That's Miss Faye's World, YT, at hotmail.com. And try to keep your letters to one page. Just summarize your situation and ask the question. And if you prefer that I answer your question privately through the email, just put it at the very top of your letter, and I will comply. I want to thank you so much for supporting this channel. And to show my appreciation, I will be giving away a deck just like this one to one of you lucky subscribers once this channel hits 100,000. And every day we get a little bit closer. This is a 53 Oracle card deck of I Am affirmations. And I will announce the name of the winner right here on the channel. So keep watching and good luck to all of you. I want to thank you so much for your comments. I read them and I appreciate them so much. And thank you so much for your letters. And a special thank you to those that leave a donation. I really appreciate all of you. I wish you all the very best. And I really hope to see you next time.